Do you ever struggle with the lack of assertiveness? Do you ever stand back in situations where you wish you'd have stepped up and said something? Do things happen around you that you could have done something about, but instead you didn't and you wish you had? A lot of people struggle with confidence issues, and when it comes to assertiveness, there's a bit of a taboo where people think it's rude or arrogant, when in actual fact it certainly is neither of those. It's just confidence. It's taking control of situations, often helping people that will never ever be able to do it, and being a voice for everybody. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 top tips to be assertive. So the first tip is to embrace being confident. Forget about that arrogant bit that people keep calling out. Forget about the being rude, because if you've got something to say, or if somebody else needs to say something but they just can't for some reason, then somebody needs to say something. So why can that person not be you? So it's time to get assertive, and it's time to see it as a good thing. It's time to see it as a good role, to be the voice for your subconscious mind and the voice for everybody else's subconscious mind around you. Because without assertive people just go with the flow, nothing changes. And you know, these people that don't like assertiveness, these are the people that just want the quiet life. They don't want anything to change. They're happy even if things aren't perfect. Forget about that. We want everything to run better in all areas of our life. So it's time to really wake up to assertiveness and just grab it with both hands. Tip number 2, when it comes to confidence, when it comes to being assertive, your body language is very important. The way you talk is very important. You know, you can't have a confident person who's like this with their arms crossed and looking down. You've got to be confident. You've got to stand up straight. You can practice in the mirror. You can practice with your best friend. You can practice whenever you want, but just make sure that you've got that body language that says that you are confident without even having to show you are with your words. So you've got your shoulders back, your chin nice and high, and you've got an open stance, which means you're open in general. You speak clearly. So if you speak really, really quickly normally, then slow it down. You shake hands with a firm grip, none of this soft grip. You shake with a firm grip. You don't try and break the other person's hand, but you get what I mean. You have eye contact. You smile, and basically just be correct with everything that you're doing with your body. All right. You want to have that positive outlook, and you want everybody to be able to see that you have that. You don't see many people on the stage, for example, and they're sort of stood there, you know, like this. Sometimes you do actually in things like the reality TV and X Factor and things like this, where they've never been on stage before, and you see they come out and they're all a little bit shy, they're a bit coy, and you think, oh, they're going to be rubbish. But then all of a sudden, the confidence comes out of them, and by the end of it, they're stood there and they've owned the place, they've proved who they are, and now they've got the confidence. So you see the change in the physiology. Well, start with the physiology as they would finish, and you can't go wrong. Another thing that I will add is something called pacing and leading. So sometimes if you want to be assertive and you're going to get involved in a delicate situation, perhaps people are having an argument or something, a really good idea, without getting too technical, is something that I do a lot in my work, is to speak. If someone's speaking loudly, when you start speaking, speak loudly, but then bring your voice back down to the normal level, and they will. If they're speaking really, really low, quietly, then do the same. Speak really low and then bring your voice back up to the normal level. So you change, you take the conversation, the style of conversation from where it is to where you want it to be. This is very important. So if someone's speaking very quickly, you can speak very quickly, but then all of a sudden, slow it down. Confident people always speak slowly because there's no need to rush. Not always, but it's a good idea because you get to pronounce your words more clearly, and it just sounds better because you just sound more composed. I'm very confident. Sometimes I speak very, very quickly if I've got lots to say and I haven't got much time. But you get what I mean. You can do it both ways, but slowly is the favored way. All right? Tip number 3, don't fear it. Don't worry about it. Just get on with it. Because when you first start being assertive, you can go away and think, oh, how did that sound? What do people think of me? Forget that. Take control, do what you've got to do. And you can be assertive in all different areas of your life. Well, I'll mention these in a moment. But really, own it is what I'm saying. And when you own it, that's when it really is you. And then it's authentic. So this is very important. Number 4, I've mentioned it before in this video, and I've mentioned it many times in other videos. The rudeness, the arrogance, forget about that, all right? Sometimes you have to come across in a certain way to get what you want. And you have to be assertive most often in most of these situations to be able to achieve this. So it's not rude, it's not arrogant, it's just a confidence, and it's taking a bit of control, and it's helping a situation. There's something going on in your mind. You need somebody or a group of people to know what it is, so you're telling them. It's as simple as that. So don't think you're being rude. Don't think you're being arrogant. People may say it's rude. They may say it's arrogant. But get a second opinion from somebody that knows what they're talking about, or a good friend, because I guarantee they just didn't like what you said because they believe in something else. And this is the most common thing ever when you're talking or debating about something. Rather than what you've actually said, people will call you out on the way you said it. Oh, you were very aggressive. Okay, listen, forget about the aggressiveness. What did I actually say? Because let's get to the brass tacks. Let's really think about what the message is. Oh, I can't get over the way that you were so arrogant, you were so rude. So they're focusing on what you did, because in reality, they don't want to know what the message was, because they know that message goes against their message. They don't like it. And this is completely common. So don't worry about that. Just stand by your morals, stand by your values. If you genuinely believe that what you need to say is good and correct, then do it. While I'm on that subject, if you do say something and somebody comes back with something that actually makes more sense, then be that person that accepts it and say, do you know something? I take it back. I really like what you've just said. And this is the difference in people, when you can accept criticism, when you can take another idea, the opposite of yours, and realize that it's better. This is another thing that will make you even more assertive, because when you're willing to throw something out there and then have it smashed to pieces, and you accept it in a gracious way, you can keep doing that because you've lost nothing. When you say something, somebody puts it all down and you take it really badly and you worry about it, this is when problems start to arise and we start to fear doing it. Forget that. Whatever happens, it's no problem. You've actually, by what you've said, created the situation where they've said something else, so you've still solved the situation one way or another. You've helped. So don't worry about that. And number 5 is use it everywhere. You can literally use it everywhere. I mean, you can use it in your relationship. Where are we going to go for food tonight? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? Forget that. Have a plan. Okay, listen, I've got a choice. This. Which is your favourite? Or this. So you're narrowing down the options. People love to choose. If you just say, pick anything you want in the world, they're like, We've all been there with everybody, with parents, with children, with girlfriends, with boyfriends. We've all been in this situation where it's like, just tell me what you want. So instead, be assertive and say, right, I've got some great ideas for tonight. I'd love to try this, or this one, unless you've got anything else that you're thinking about. So you give them the get out clause, all right? But you're assertive in work when there's projects. You've got a good idea. You want that promotion. You want that bonus. So you want them to know that you've got a good idea. Don't let somebody else come out with your idea. Another great thing to remember, not really part of assertiveness, but while I'm talking about what I'm talking about, is when you're in work and there's a group of people talking, let everybody say what they've got to say. And then once they've said everything, you can use all the different things that people have said to be able to create perhaps another idea. You can take inspiration from their ideas, and then you're writing down your new ideas, and then you've got something better to say. All right, this is a really good idea. So there we go. I've got loads more tips. I will be making more videos, as you know, but there's your top 5 tips for today. So accept and embrace assertiveness. Make it part of your life. Make it a habit. Do it in all areas of your life. You don't have to do it too much, just enough. Don't be one of those people that wishes they had said something when you could have done. I mean, I just stuttered and I don't really care because it makes a difference. Don't worry about anything. If you've got something to say, just say it. all right? Because you'll regret not saying it more than you'll regret saying it if it was the wrong thing, okay? So please, really watch this video again. Make sure you got those 5 top tips. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, share it, stick the notifications on so you can get to see the next video as soon as it comes out. And if you've got any other ideas, I've got loads about being more assertive, or a time where you were assertive, or when you started, or when you're going to start, put it in the comments. I'd love to read about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.